if this becomes real, because that first map was their map pick. This is now stepping into wildcard territory. However, with it being consular, I wouldn't really complain about starting on attack.
I wouldn't complain either. Knights are going to be having a good time here, but I just got a question down. They said, is the comeback possible? Hap, what is the humidity like in Australia?
What was your answer?
It's 86%, I just checked. I have to join. But, like, I don't know what it will actually mean. Because
I wonder what other bizarre causation or correlation I can find to this, just to say, yeah, here's another irrelevant
someone asked, I just answered. They were just asking for humidity.
47 trucks ran into telephone poles yesterday in Australia, therefore...
47?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky. Anyway, Thatcher, Maverick, banned. Valkyrie will join the bunch. It's often actually strange we do not see a Nomad ban on a map like Consulate.
I think with the Valkyrie band, you're less concerned, or if that was your intention coming in all along, then maybe. But it's more of that focus towards the atypical Thatcher. Very commonly on the top floor, you'll see teams just try and lock things down with mute jammers and be like, hey, you want to find a way in upstairs? Nah, no information for you. So I understand why it's coming along, and also enables you to put a lot of focus into holding the garage wall. With Thatcher and Maverick taken off, this can become a lot more difficult. You are forced to take control of Piano, which if the defenders opt to hold or play with C4s or whatever, can make it incredibly difficult. And look what we're seeing in round number 1. Might not quite be the site, but we are going to see Ethan moving over to playing on that pulse.
Nope. Well, I mean, it's going back to the clash for just a little bit, but it might be teased a bit for the 6-pick. It's something we often see. They often opt to go for the operator they want to go for, and then 6-pick it in afterwards. And there we go. The pulse will be 6-picked in. It's going to be definitely helpful for these C4s to be tossed in.
Bait and switch. What we're saying that first round, like, 1, leverage 6th pick as much as you can, even if it just leads to a second of doubt on the other side. It is still a small advantage you've got. And of course, with the choice of all sides in the first round, why the hell wouldn't you just try and mix things up a little bit and keep your opponents guessing? Upstairs, as mentioned, going to be the first site, and no surprise to see Emerin heading over to playing on the Echo. Very common playing upstairs when it is available to stick one, especially inside a console, as those members on the attacking side try to swing in through the window. A good way to try and interrupt them as they go for a plant behind the desk. I want to see a full 5 maps, but I don't want to stay up all night from Neon Gold 19. I'm torn. What's our advice to him here? Because health is important, looking after yourself and getting appropriate sleep, I should know, is definitely very important.
But it's Sunday tomorrow.
It is the weekend, my man.
Yes.
Do you need sleep right now?
Do you need sleep right now, or can you just stay up and then, you know, mess up your weekend a little bit?
You call yourself a gamer and you're saying you need sleep. How dare you?
How dare you?
The internet would scream back into the void. Very easy use of the pulse downstairs, if nothing else, is to know where the hell are the attackers coming from. Stick him out to the east, stick him out to the west, and then keep a good eye on that cardiac sensor of what's going on the rappel on either side, but that is the freest kill you're going to find. They'll be spotting nothing on the downstairs for that smoke. That's really not ideal, especially when the smoke is such a massive factor going into the dying seconds of a round here. As the rappel starts swinging in, as the execute starts to happen, there are a lot of small windows or doorways. The smoke does a really good job of blocking you from getting through. That isn't going to be an option here, and I'm very sure as long as Knights have called out, we've got the smoke, this round is already feeling so much easier. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, by the way. The barrage of utility coming into yellow stairs.
As we saw Latin ones perfectly portray. As Pat right here wants to rotate out, gets spotted out, but the kill doesn't quite connect. Strider, however, onto the double windows will be opening up just a little bit. Also being contested by Emerin right here onto the MP5 as they do that ACOG, of course, to work with. Often we see the middle panel being opened up in connector, which allows them then to then use it from all the way in projector. It is indeed as well, just not high enough for the ACOG to actually be effective.
All that peacetime that's kind of ensued since the starting kill came out. The second one flies through. That's the Echo gone, man. Emerin being removed means that Wildcard have just lost arguably their 2 most impactful operators in the late game. Ethan does finally strike true, finding a kill onto Josh on the downstairs at the bottom of yellow. Well, not quite the bottom, more on ground floor in this case. And there's still a scrap going on inside a meeting upstairs. Pat probably not expecting an aggressor from Connector. Would have assumed most of the time would have come up to the stairs instead. But 3 kills come out for Dino. What a game he is having, by the way. 15 kills on the last map and already finding himself these 3 in the opening round of Consulate. Plant is going down. There are no Echo drones to stop this one coming through. Does manage to dodge away, but now into a 2 versus 1. So for Wildcard, they have swung this back because of that pulse we spoke about earlier, Hap. Such big impact in the late round.
I was going to say that pulse pulse is definitely going to be a very deciding factor here as he struggles to get that diffuser right now. But the thing is, he will be spotted out by the pulse, and that means a wallbang is surely going to be coming in soon as he tries to go for that plant. There's going to be 40 seconds left on the clock. Here we're going to see in the wallbang, but he's replying to a beautifully baited out Juicy, able to pick up that kill. And that is going to be putting Knights into an not an advantageous position because the diffuser still needs to go down. He's trying to put himself into the right position to do so, as he will be planting it inside of the door. But my question is, where is Geo? He's inside the private bathroom right here and needs to move through, but he's waiting until the diffuser is actually planted, and that means 45 seconds on the clock. There's a drone down there. Surely they must be checking it. Surely they know he's going to be passing it right now as the drone gets taken out, and that's going to be valuable information as they know he's either going to be coming long desk or cutting into the connector.
Juicy still has a drone alive, mind you, so somewhere they know where Geo is coming from. There's one outside of the console window. If that's it, that's really not in an ideal position for them. 20 seconds to go. He's got to find the kill, and he's got to get the defuse down. This is going to come down to a bit of a bait and switch. He's going to try and long arm this one. In comes Juicy. Got to rush for this one. Steps in, hears and come off the diffuser. Backs away himself. In coffin now. They know where each other are. Comes to a pistol fight, and they win this one out. Knights with round number 1. Juicy. What an incredible clutch there. 1 versus 2. Destroying a Pulse and a Jaeger.
So well played.
Brilliant. That's intuition and experience speaking there.
That Pulse one was the one that stood out to me. I wonder if he heard him going off the cardiac sensor, which knew, like, because of which he knew that the gun was surely coming out after that. That's why he swapped, used that vertical hold. That's why he was trying to plant near that as well, so he could use it in his advantage right there. So super well played by Juicy.
You just know, well, if we ask them later on, how did you know? He'll be like, oh, there's a drone downstairs. And we're like, oh, the man's got like superhero hearing. Like, he just knows these things. It's like, nah. Team did it. They made the call. I just fired the bullets and people died. Sometimes it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a complex game, ladies and gents. Although...
It is.
It is. However, Knights are making it look relatively simple, given the last map, given how that first round went. The back and forth nature of it, 3 kills coming through for Knights, and then suddenly Wildcards swing things back in the dying seconds with the C4 kills, the closing kill coming out to put it down into a 1 versus 2. For Knights to then swing it back their way again, just goes to show how back and forth these games can be. And I can't remember if it was Dev or someone else who said it. I think it might have been, actually no, it was Krapel, who coaches for Fnatic, saying, you know what, it might not be the Siege that we come to expect all the time. It might not be the best tier of Siege you're ever going to expect. However, when you look at this region, the back and forth nature, the unexpectedness behind it is really what makes it great. I love Des and Hap, thank you, but I was hoping to see Geo cast Geo. Geo on Geo. Did you know there are 3 Geos in this game?
There are. Which ones are they?
There's Geometric playing in LATAM. There's Geo here, and then there's Geo in Europe. Now, she's not a player, she is a caster.
Then we also have an A1.
I don't know, Milos is trying to say something to me.
I think it's an A1, but...
Oh, of course he is, yeah.
With 4 Geos.
So many Geos. Imagine if they all get together at the same event. What happens then?
It's like you just have to say one word, and then they all come to you.
This is the multiverse. That is the most annoying part, when someone shares a name and you say one person's name and 3 people go, yes. I don't have that problem. I can't imagine you do. Especially
not in
when
Siege events, that's for sure. But like, I know a lot of people.
Quite common in the Netherlands.
It's quite common, yeah, actually is.
Fair enough. I met one other Derry in my life, and that was on my university course.
Oh,
genuinely. And I've never met another Derry since, or even heard of one.
There's like 3 or 4 other people with my name in my town, so it's like, yeah, small world. Anyway,
let's play the artillery game again.
Yeah, just wasting out the 3 ADSs down there, even though there's literally nobody playing in the staircase. Grenade will be following it up. Bit of a fire as well, as the asphyxiating bolt will be used, and Geo will be able to get the first kill. Juicy will fall. He's trying to go even more aggressive, but he almost loses his life due to the pre-fire in that window to anti-chamber. Has to be careful to not lose it completely. It's Josh going on the hunt. He's ready. He's in Soda. Dino will be joining him there from Zulu. Are they going to be aware of the fact that he is in the anti-chamber? Just one drone, guys. Send in one drone. You have in... I was going to say you have so many more left, but they actually do not have that many left as the shotgun comes in, gets the kill onto Josh, and that is going to be starting things up for Wildcard, but the angle is being held. Strider able to pick up the kill. Instant trade to come through. Will be opening up onto the yellow stairs and allow them to rotate up.
You'd normally reinforce, and they've reinforced the right wall, I think, which is the correct one to go for, but then normally you get a second one as well, and just to make it so it's harder to play from Skylight, but here with it all being opened up, It does give a certain angle of safety, potentially a late round flank coming in from the defenders to come up yellow and spray down onto the planter as they go in behind the desk in console. Right here, it's worked against them, though, and that's going to be one that stings a little bit. However, 3 versus 4. Wildcard the one in... Wildcards? Wildcard the one in control. I read the top and I was like, wildcards. I guess the team are all a bunch of wildcards collectively, but there is a single wild card here.
There's a single wildcard.
Wildcard.
Oh, look at that. The pulse being spotted out as Dino will be able to get the kill onto Pat. They know now only one person is going to be on the side, and Strider picks up onto Geo. They only have to worry about that C4 yet again. Is the last 30 seconds. The Echo will go down. Imarin is not going to be able to do anything. The C4 will just be blindly tossed up, I believe. Or they might have a yokai drone that will be guiding whether or not they should detonate. And there we go. Got detonated. Not able to get the kill down. Strider is going to be able to go down for that plant. And they have the IQ as well to cover off in case the pulse will be below, but it doesn't happen. It's Knights to pick it up. Dino with the last kill. Strider, I have to say. No, it's actually Dino with the last kill. And that is going to be putting us 2-0 up for the Pittsburgh Knights.
Yeah, I think it's time to change sites now, guys. A couple of rounds on the second floor haven't gone their way. I think it's time to trial the downstairs. Head down to garage, maybe even lobby. This is another one of those maps, thinking about it, much like Oregon, where all 4 sites are viable. Teams will play, all of them collectively. I mean, Tellers and Archives, you would say, is most definitely the less played. Or the least played, sorry. However, some teams have really good setups coming through on it. I remember seeing G2 once trying to attack onto the site. The whole floor was opened up. There was Evil Eyes on the walls. There was just nothing to be done, as well as 3 or 4 C4s being thrown up from below. It is going to be still on the downstairs, but not going to be Tellers and Archives. Cafeteria and Garage for round number 3. And we're going to see that Mirror coming out. We spoke about this quite a bit yesterday. Mirror wasn't banned away, despite it being banned away pretty much every game previously by Mercenaries. And we saw how badly it stung them in map number 1.
I'm going to be seeing it again. However, Mirror, not really the most viable on a map like Consulate, I would like to say. Is basement. We are. Oh, drones again, stuck on the ground.
Unlucky, I guess.
Lucky. I guess it's just a spectator bug for us. I'm pretty sure the drones are still there.
Invisible drones.
Yeah. Just mute tower vibes from here.
I'm actually dying to play that.
I want to play as well. I want to play so badly.
We've been stuck here, of course, in the wonderful Paris. Enjoying our time here.
You don't make it sound like we're stuck here, you know, in a wonderful Paris. That's just,
yeah,
just
stuck is quite negative, isn't it, I guess? Yeah, we're not stuck. We are willingly here. Blink twice.
To cover off on these gates. There's Knights currently 1 map up, 2 rounds as well into the second one. Of course, we're in a best-of-5 series, meaning that if this one goes their way, it's not over yet.
All right. I love this hold. Normally prefer it when there is a mute, because it's so difficult to destroy, to get any drones in there to know who the hell's actually playing in the first place. The often response to, or the common response to get this opened up then is to take towards the north in the hallways and open it from the north side rather than trying to push in through the antechamber door. And once you're under pressure, you can just drop down through the hatch, but if that north wall is opened up, suddenly that ain't so easy. So we'll see how much damage Pat can do here, or how much damage can be wrought onto him. With this hole opened up on the left wall here, leading in towards yellow, he can contest as they try and push their way through. But of course, as we all know, holes work both ways.
Holes work both ways indeed. Unlike the mirror window, which only works one way. As panel 3 gets open up, that means that the opening towards the white fan is now secured. Drones checking if there's any utility they need to deal with. Meister, of course, banned. Operator you often would see down here, putting one onto the pillar 1 on the floor actually next to the white fan, as the booty of the Vigil gets spotted out every now and then, but I don't know if they're actually aware of that.
No one know about this one up here, but wins the fight either way. Imarin. Great first find onto Josh, and that's the Nomad off the board. I imagine they had a couple of these air jabs down, but one must still have been in the back pocket there because he didn't really have too much exposure to the map. It only just got upstairs. Dino's going to trade back onto Imarin. So it brings us up at 4 versus 4 with 90 seconds to go, and this was at the top of Spiral. So they are doing the right things. They've managed to get the garage door open. They've now got one pushing down Spiral. Slightly concerned that it's the Capital doing this because normally you'd want the smoke to try and go for this plant to at least cover up, but they're still pulling it off regardless. Comes up yellow stairs and no one's providing the right amount of cover. Strider goes down as we were about a second away from the diffuser being put on the ground, and now Dino gets picked off too. Like I mentioned, I wish that was someone else that had taken that spot because those smokes could have been the difference when trying to go for the plant.
Could have been the difference indeed, and as soon as that smoke canister went off, they should have actually cancelled the plant, I'm sure of it. But Diesel now onto Juicy as well, leaves it all up to Hayward on the IQ, has the G8, A1 in hand. It's a good gun. Is it going to be able to find anyone with it, though? Taking the multiple points of damage against that mirror right there. Yet again, only one shot away from his demise right now as he wants to push down, but he's not quite sure of where he wants to go through. Wants to challenge out on this mirror first, but he's going to be able to see him. Pre-fire comes in. Pat with the last kill and Wildcard with their first round of Consulate.
Decisive round as well.
It was a decisive round indeed.
Even though we saw the plant being a second or so away, if that had gone down, that round would have ended very differently. This is historically one of the most difficult sites to retake once it's been planted because the diffuser goes down facing the external wall. Everyone gets outside, they hide behind the car, they hide behind walls. There are just so many angles to worry about. And often teams will send someone upstairs towards the second window inside a console office and try and find kills from there, usually with something like a C4. That just goes to show that the conventional route of trying to defuse often isn't the play. You have to kill everyone outside the map too. We go back upstairs, and those first two rounds that we saw on this site went the way of the Knights. There needs to be something different coming here out of Wildcard, and maybe part of that is not losing your smoke early. Maybe it's a more thorough hold of yellow because they're giving control of that away very quickly. The way that I look at the takes on top floor is admin is relatively easy to do. It's not difficult, but the take later on towards the actual site itself is a lot harder. With yellow, it's very difficult to take at first, especially if the defenders are using a lot of these anti-grenade gadgets, but then it becomes a little bit easier to execute. Once you have control of yellow, it is so simple to stick someone on connector down to the south, get a plant inside console, and there is very little the defenders can do about it, bar Ethan, of course, making use of that C4 or Emo bin on the Echo.
Or the smoke canisters to be used by Diesel.
As long as he doesn't die.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's so many opportunities for them to try and stop this plant from happening, but if we're looking back at the last round, it was a simple thing that if Knights would have done it, they would have that round.
They've reinforced the wall this time.
They did it this time, indeed. Good choice. Good adaptation to come through. But I wanted to say, Des, if only they had someone down onto the yellow stairs whilst they tried to attempt that plant, they would have been able to pick up on the Jaeger. That means the plant would have actually gone down, and it would have been a Knights round potentially. So just a small mistake coming through right there, which could be very costly at the end. But if Knights keep on playing like they did before, it should not be too big of an issue.
Again, just comes down to the small things in these rounds. It's always the small things. It's never big, complex moments, or sometimes it can be. But often it's more based around the small things like, are you covering yellow? One small detail being left out of a strat can win or lose you a round. In this round, that small detail is the reinforced middle wall leading towards yellow stairs from console office. Touched on it a couple of times earlier on. There was a drone there hanging around, or a yokai drone, I suppose I should say. Very important to differentiate, ladies and gents. Hanging around on yellow stairs, waiting for that information to come in that someone was on the rappel, someone's trying to push up yellow. Now feel they've done the job, want to back it away, and Diesel's still holding. ADS is still intact as well. One has been burnt out here, but two remain. The grenades being brought across from Dino should help them clear this one out, but it's a question of can they weave a frag grenade in the middle of the barrage to see Diesel meet his untimely demise.
Got to be tossed in all of them now, and that means Diesel will be falling back into the bathroom. And the asphyxiating bolts will join along, and that will give them some freedom. They know no one is going to be top of yellow right now. And that means Wildcard is being pushed back just a little bit. But they need to take this control quickly because otherwise Diesel's just going to get back into the spot as he does right now. And that is going to be making it ever so harder to actually get the control down. But yet another asphyxiating bolt will be used. Ash charges will be used as well. Grenades are being tossed in. There's so much utility being used. And there's one man. Are they going to be able to take him down though? That is going to be the question as the smoke canister pops. He's going to be trying to give himself an opportunity to go back to the top of yellow stairs. But he's not, like his feet are going to be missed from the guy on Skylight.
This is so difficult. He's gone through all three smoke canisters, but in a position here where he's wasted so much time. A minute and 45 seconds in, they are still in control of yellow stairs. I mentioned it's harder to take early. Hayward going big balls here, diving straight in and trying to go for the fight. Can't even win it out. It's Diesel with another kill inside the bathroom. This now into a 5 versus 2. I said they had to change something up in this round. They have done just that, and it looks like there is no way that Knights should be able to win this round.
They went for the synchronized jump in, one on yellow window, one on the bathroom window. They were hoping to get the smoke because of that. You might lose one, but you're never going to be losing two, they thought, but yet they did. Someone was there to try and support them, and that actually worked out. 40 seconds left. Knights, 2 on 5. Are they going to be able to actually bring this back, or is Wildcard going to be the one to pick up this round?
Somehow, I think it's probably the former. I don't see a way in which Knights managed to swing this one back in a 2 versus 5, no less. A lot to do in the space of 25 seconds to kill 5 people or get the diffuser down safely, and Ethan's going to make it even harder. He's just turned the difficulty from hard to impossible or nightmare mode, whatever you want to call it. Strider certainly isn't living in a dream anymore. 10 seconds to go. This round's going to conclude. It's going to end up at 2 apiece. And I guess the big question then comes is what site do we head to next? Because that would have been 2 rounds in a row coming out for Wildcard. I wonder if it goes down to lobby, which is where you would expect, or if we see them go towards tellers and archives.
We're now getting a clue on what their tertiary bomb site will look like. Which one do they prefer? Are we going for the split one or for the lobby? Round 5 will be the one where we'll finally get that answer. Lobby.
Lobby indeed. Lobby makes sense when you can defend upstairs successfully because you can defend it in a very similar way. I imagine you're probably going to see Ethan putting more focus out towards the east side, down inside of archives, and be using that to scan up onto the admin wall, because very commonly you have to take the top floor first if you're attacking. Some brilliant angles you can hold from above to watch the lobby door, to watch inside a piano. So much soft destruction on this map that it makes total sense that, well, vertical holds are the play to do. A lot of that comes down to the fact that these sites are very hard to hold themselves on the ground floor, so you're kind of forced to play upstairs or find some alternative method of defense. Otherwise, sites are generally considered indefensible.
Looking at Hayward and Joshua right here, both still yet to find a kill after 4 rounds. Might be the difference maker if you look at the likes of Wildcard. They're all pretty spread out. Emerin just a little bit lacking behind, but the rest all near 4 or 3. Knights, they are going lobby now. The defense will yet again be focused on the top floor, logically speaking, of course. What are they going to be able to bring?
Well, a bunch of shotguns again. Diesel. Shotgun hero at the moment. I mentioned earlier on that I love seeing a mute when you're playing on, well, in this sort of location, because you bring the mute upstairs, drop it on the doorways leading in towards meeting, and it becomes really difficult to drone out who's playing inside there, isolate them and kill them. It's all about what kills they can find early on, in my mind. If they can remove these top floor defenders, they're not going to find themselves starved for time. But just like in that last round, as you start getting picked off and that clock runs down to 0, stuff only gets harder, Hap. Who'd have thought, as the clock nears 0, attackers don't have such a good time?
Is that really the case?
No, yeah, believe it or not.
Oh, all right.
It's a new thing in Siege. Hasn't been something for like the last 4 or 5 years. Sadly.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. That's maybe why we weren't aware of it previously. Anyway, Geo yet again trying to contest this time. Will be doing so with the Echo on Antechamber. Has to be careful though to not lose his head. Something that almost happened the last time he tried. Now, often these yokai drones are actually not on the ceiling where they turn invisible, but they're on the ground in the corner. Is there a specific reason for that? We
saw how crucial that was the other day. I can't remember the game when they were trying to plant inside of Trophy on Villa.
I know.
Actually, no, Statuary, sorry. And they had the one that was just sat up in the rafters, like not deployed to the ceiling, was visible. They could hear it. They were like, oh, this is about as free a kill onto a yokai drone as I'm ever going to find. Maybe just kind of thrown out, ran around to do some other setup. I don't know. He's used both of his impacts, so you can only assume he's been using that for rotations as well.
Actually used it from below to top to create some extra lines of sight, but it's going to be Emerin to get taken down. As Dino will be able to get that, but the C4 will be not able to fully connect. It's going to be Diesel, however, to confirm the kill onto Hayward. Estrada right now will be joining to try and go for the pickup, but he should surely be aware of it, and that means they could be going for the actual secure as he's trying to land the shot on the feet. He's not going to be missing the shots. Ethan not able to pick up that kill. Strider instantly going for the pickup onto the Capital. And Ethan back onto his cardiac sensor, trying to get the information that is necessary to secure some of these kills. He knows one of them is on 20 HP right now. There's 1 or 2 shots from the AMP from the floor, and you get it secured.
I kind of come back to what you said on the last map, and at the time we said, you know, attacking lineup quite fixed on that map on Oregon. Here I feel with the Nomad and the Capital, not so much that they're unnecessary. They aren't absolutely required either. They kind of sit in the middle, I think. Some teams like them, some don't. I feel when you're dealing with both yokai drones and the cardiac sensor here, an IQ would be so valuable for you. You know what else is valuable though? Pat being brought down the top floor. This gives more control now over to Knights on the top side. You can see a couple of members playing inside a bathroom, and Ethan is still at the bottom of Visa stairs playing on the cardiac sensor, or so you would assume. Trying for a jump out here. This feels a bit risky given there's a Nomad on field, but maybe not enough of one down. No air jabs are out, and that's the diffuser down from Strider. So even with that vertical control, they now can't leverage that to go for a plant.
Indeed, they need to recover that diffuser. I'm really concerned as of why there was no air jab deployed in that position. There's still going to be 3 drones available for them to use to actually get this information down, as now the plants will come down. Keep in mind, there is still that yokai drone, and with 7 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be the down to come through as well. It's Ethan to pick up a triple kill, and it's going to be only up to Josh now. In this 1v3, will not be able to pick up a single kill, and it's Wildcards to win round number 5 and put themselves back in the lead.
It does feel when Knights give a little bit too much freedom to the side of Wildcards and let them do what they want to do, say rotate away or go and play around Visa, or utilize the map the way that no doubt the defenders want to. They look a lot more confident in making these late round rotates and using the utility they've got, often the cardiac center, to call out plays and make sure they know what it is they're doing. The fact that the Knights, again, without the IQ, couldn't see that there was a yokai drone sat inside a lobby. The fact that they couldn't deal with the cardiac center for the entire round, again, I would have liked to have seen them in this round maybe try and utilize it. But I guess going into the final round here, they know what went wrong last time playing in Cafeteria and Garage. It was Capital putting his focus in towards Spiral Staircase by himself, rather than making use of that utility to go for the execute through the Garage breach. That's what I want to see change in this round. Otherwise, it could be Wildcard. I wouldn't say against all odds, but unexpectedly taking 4 defensive rounds on Consulate.
It could be indeed 4 unexpected rounds on Consulate here. But then again, Knights also has to still go over to the defense, something we saw them being pretty capable at in Oregon. What can they bring in a map like Consulate?
I wonder if this turns into another bathroom hold upstairs. You have a look, Easy? Up, 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 up. There we go. Not yet. But I imagine Pat's got to rotate into there. He's still got 10 seconds left in setup, so why wouldn't you do the same thing again? They have reinforced that wall actually leading into antechamber, so it makes sense. There we go. That's going to mean you're going to see another mirror window appearing here to help them watch on towards yellow. As we mentioned in the last round, someone comes to challenge you. Holes do work both ways, but behind a mirror window, we know just how difficult that can make it.
There's still going to be 1 reinforcement available on Emerin. Not sure where he's using it, or if... Oh, he just used it. Never mind. I was going to say there was still 1 available, but he just used it. So, none anymore. Not sure where it was. Oh, that's the middle one. This connector.
Yeah. So you're going to get pre-fired running back into meeting if you do choose to play through that door. I wonder how much time they spend on the upstairs here as well. Given they don't really... They have quite a lot of anchor operators, I'd say, here, with the smoke, with the mirror, with the Kaid. Maybe you're looking towards the Wamai and the Jaeger causing trouble elsewhere. It's exactly what Emerin's trying to do in this round. Hasn't really had a chance to shine in this first half. It's been a very quiet one with just 5 kills across these 6 rounds so far. You're looking towards him to make a big impact in this round to try and end the half strong and not even things out of 3-3.
2 minutes. It's going to be a missed opportunity to go for a kill there, and that means the upside down repel comes in and the wall bang onto Emerin, able to pick up the kill. Dino will be picking up 1 as well. Really? And that is going to be the 5-on-3 situation that we were hoping to see from Knights. And they're turning it into a 5-on-2. It's going to be the bathroom hatch that will be used now. There's another player there, but he's not going to be able to get that kill down. Diesel will respond, and that turns it into a 2-on-4. Dino, however, did such amazing work as he managed to take down 2 players and secure that bathroom. They do not have to worry about that anymore. And as the grenade comes in, both those electric claws will be gone. Strider can proceed to open up, and all they need to do now is get that yellow stairs control. And as soon as they have that, that plant will go down.
Absolute disaster for Wildcard. You lose the Jaeger that was looking to cause some trouble on the roam, and the Mirror, who was playing on the ground floor to stop happening exactly what we said at the start of the map. Control of Piano. Now that was gone. It was so easy to get a grenade in, destroy the electronics, and now it's open. The big question to me inside 60 seconds is, how does this play out? Because looking at Dino being down, they don't have the smokes. We saw how much this hurt them last round. They're trying again. Strider was going for a plant, gets shot out a couple of times, down to about half HP. Hayward finds one for himself. It's all down to Diesel on the smoke, has 2 canisters remaining. Sadly, my friend, that's not enough when there's 50 seconds left in this round.
Yeah, that's only 20 seconds that Stanley has, and now he, used 1 of them. That means only 1 is left. He's trying to go aggressive onto the yellow stairs. He's just holding off onto the corner. If they know, they might be able to go down for that plant as he proceeds to put himself on top of the shield, swings around with a shotgun. Is he going to be able to get this down? No, it doesn't seem like it. He will go down. Knights will win round number 6, and they turn it up to a 3-on-3 anyway for an even split.
Much better, and the pace at which they dealt with the roamers there was really impressive. I mentioned it for a brief second in the round itself. Dealing with that Jaeger super early with the pre-fire towards yellow, and then the removal of the mirror was the big one. Playing behind that mirror window really could have wasted a lot of time, and it's the fact that once she's gone, you can assume control of that position. You have coverage of the mirror window for any flankers coming up yellow stairs. You can see through the breach, and not through the breach, sorry, through the hatch. I'm not fully sure where the call or why the call wasn't there to the player on pipe saying he's just taking control of hatch, get out, get yourself safe, or at least peek the angle, because he wasn't even watching. But as we always say, it's easy to say in hindsight to say as the onlookers rather than those stuck in this high pressure situation. We do.
We have all the information you could wish for, except for voice comms of teams, actually. That's the one thing we do not have. And well, Knights onto the defense now, will opt to go to the top floor as well. Are they going to be able to continue their momentum, do what they did on Oregon, and put themselves up 1 round instantly and try to continue it from there and forth?
We had a lot of casters on today. We've had Dev on, we've had Raven on, we've got Magic on. Who's next?
I don't know.
I'm only just scraping into Six Masters playoffs to being 2 maps away from winning the 6 major Oceania. Knights are showing up today. ANZ Esports has never been more entertaining.
10 seconds remaining.
I think that's a pretty fair statement.
It is a very good statement indeed.
I live for the Cinderella stories.
Those are the best,
I'm
right?
invested.
You don't want to see the same team win every single time because it's just boring if that's the case. You want to see these smaller teams go for these upsets where you can actually, you know, enjoy the game, like, as in like, wow, they brought something new, they managed to completely counter them off, and Wildcards are not unbeatable now. Fnatic have left.
It's the beauty of Siege in that, I won't say inconsistency, but more the volatility is the best way to look at it. I guess you're comparing consistency in there. Is that different teams can beat teams they normally wouldn't based on what day they turn up on, what map they go to, what side they start, the counter-analysis they've done. It causes a lot of heartbreak as fans, no doubt, of teams when you don't see your favorite team always winning, or when you're like, this game should be a breeze, and then you lose it. It's not too fun. But stepping in here, everyone has got the cards behind Wildcard. No one's really back in the Knights, at least until we've seen how these first, well, map and a half has played out.
Indeed, first 1.5 map are done. Knights so far 1 match up. And right now drawing up in the first half as well. All the flashbangs are going to be coming out indeed, and that will force Juicy to run away. He's going to be putting down a smoke caster, it looks like, just to pretend, or well, make sure that no one is going to be jumping in from that window. But it might be a bit of an early one, especially if the second one already gets used. We're not even 1.5 minutes in, Des.
It takes a while to get control of yellow, to be fair, unless players just abandon it, as we saw Wildcard do on their defense in one of the rounds. Equally, we've seen other rounds where we've had Diesel holding until the dying moments with the shotgun, got him down into a 5 versus 2 for Wildcard to then close the round out. So there's a lot invested here in the smoke player, knowing where to move and when, avoiding the window inside a bathroom, being able to dodge the grenades coming out of yellow. I don't envy any player that plays in this spot. The stress you must feel in that position is unfathomable.
It's the most stressful position, I dare to say, as he gets taken down. Finally, Emerin will be able to pick him up. That means 1 minute 10 left on the clock. You finally have that one opening to work with, but look at Josh just sitting there behind his shield. Is going to be able to at least challenge out onto the yellow stairs right here. It's going to be the Ash of Geo to try and contest it. As the ping came through, there's also a yokai drone still up top right there. It's going to be attempted to be shot down, but already dropped down onto the ground, rotated itself back into safety, and that means the yokai drone is still active as Strider managed to secure it.
It's part of the beauty of playing IQ on this map is you can basically shot call from the roof. You can see where all the gadgets are, especially on a site like this, and just say, hey, there's something here, there's something here, there's something here, and there's something here. Go and deal with it. The one thing they need to be wary of is Hayward still playing, mind you, on this pulse and what he can do. That C4 that he just had in his back pocket has been thrown, finds a kill onto Ethan.
And this is a dangerous one. He tries to contest the person on the shield right here. Josh just sitting put as he tries to go for an aggressive peek on the other side of the bathroom. Goes back for the shield. Just trying to play a ring around Rosie right here as the he will be taken out. Josh able to pick up that kill. 7 seconds left. Diesel, however, will respond. The plants will go down. But is there still a yokai drone available? No, he just got shot down by Pat. But they need to go for the kills right now. It's only up to Pat. Is he going to be able to get the kills? No, the time runs out. It's Knight that is going to be able to pick up the round in a very chaotic last 10 seconds.
Chaotic final 3 seconds. It was a 3-way gunfight and no one killed each other.
Everybody survived.
It was a 2 versus 1 and they still couldn't hit him. Okay. I mean, look, it's a good thing you're on the defense side. If that was the other way around, you'd be kicking yourself. If it was a 2 versus 1 for the attackers and no one hit any shots, different story. It's not too bad because it's the defenders that were in the advantage. 4-3 for the side of Knights as we are going to find ourselves heading to that 4th site, the off site. Depends how many offs you want to stack up here, but archives and tellers going to be where we go next.
Is the split site. And as you said, some teams prefer this one, Archive Stellar, some prefer the lobby. But it's the crazy thing. We haven't seen the basement yet. Normally, basement comes first, and then we would be going up here. And I mean, yeah, in some degree, this is also a basement. Just 50% of it.
Yeah. Normally, if you look at a map like this, or well, any of the maps and see a split site, you're like, oh, stay away. Danger. Sites need to be connected. Why would you go anywhere else? This is one of those sites that I find super interesting based on the setups that people bring through. As mentioned before, normally you'd see something like a Maestro. It is banned away here, as is the Valkyrie. And you'd be using those gadgets inside of the site itself to make it very difficult to get in there without being spotted is the best way I can describe it. You open the floor up as they're starting to do now. You play C4s below. Your life is a nightmare because it's almost impossible. I don't think I've ever seen a B take come through on this site, like ever.
It is hard, but I think it is definitely
it's doable.
It might be the better
hard.
thing to do, I'm actually thinking.
It is, but the problem is your angles of approach are so one-dimensional, right? If you come in through garage, which often teams will try and do, at least to get some semblance of control, you then push your way down the corridor to the south. It's very one-dimensional again. You might get picked off from servers. The hatch above you is one to worry about as well. When it comes to trying to push through the main entrance through the double doors, again, it's very one-dimensional. There are 4 or 5 different angles that you can be watched from on your entry into the room, and you've got to consider if there's a player upstairs, the threat they'll give to you from there. It is just so difficult to take servers that often Tellers is the one that most teams will look to.
Now, something I would like to see on a hold like this is actually a mirror played in Harry Potter and inside of Boiler, just to make sure that that one-dimensional hold is completely shut down. And you're still going to be able to have those C4s to stop these splints from happening. As it looks like Wildcard actually opting to go for the one-dimensional take.
It is, but it's more about where they split once they've got control. So pushing at least initially together as if this were almost a garage take, and you can see the defenders matching them and saying, look, reinforcements committed towards garage. In fact, quite a few of them. You can even see a thermite being committed to getting open this double wall at the bottom side of Cafe. That gives them that nice long angle all the way through the corridor. And I think it's Diesel who won out that first gunfight against Juicy.
And that's going to be prompting Hayward to fall back. He's trying to not give away his life. They're trying to stall as long as they possibly can. The Pulse has to be careful, though, but now he's going to be aware of the fact that Diesel is watching that angle. It's not going to be safe for him to move out there, and most likely no one will now. Strider finds himself inside the archives there, and, a bit of rotation comes down from all of these players as bullet holes, like punch holes, and everything will be prepared. It still looks like Wildcard is completely committed to this one-dimensional take. His 4 players are still in that, in the basement. I just don't know where the 5th one is. It's
a war of the front lines here, just moving back and forth between either side based on who's holding where, what gadgets they've still got down. They've dealt with the mute jammer that was inside of red, so it does mean they can finally get this front line moving forwards and droning more out. They just missed Josh. Did he get that drone?
I think he did get that drone.
I assume he did. That would have been very sneaky if he hadn't been seen and managed to find himself in a great spot. Look at that. Hayward. Ugh. Gross.
It's so gross, but
Stick
if it works, it works, Daz. We're just waiting to see whether or not it will, as he's just holding on tight, hoping that he will see someone come through. Projectiles being tossed through. That's the grenades of Ethan right now, and with 30 seconds left, they need to make hurry. Flashbangs being tossed in. They're still not done yet. Now the aggressive swings will be coming through, but it's going to be Gio to pick up the first one onto Hayward. Strider, however, will be able to respond. Now the 2 members finding themselves up top. The plant is going to be going down. There's no C4 to try and answer for it yet. Actually, it's going to be a kill to come through. Strider is going to be up top. He's not going to be able to land it, though, as Pat will be able to get that last kill in. Wildcard are able to win it, at least this round. He did come very close, but no C4s were used for this vertical, as there were still 3 people holding off on that archives.
It's awkward when your Pulse is playing on the upstairs as well, more acknowledging they are attacking the downstairs and providing that intel from a distance above. And feeding that to those that are downstairs means the gunfight should be a little bit simpler. But that was a really interesting setup, actually. And a round that I'm going to mark down here with a star in my notebook. And do you know what a star in my notebook means, Hap?
I'm going to look at it after.
I'm going to look at it after. You are absolutely damn
out of it.
Right. We'll see. We've got some fun tools here in the studio that you still haven't seen. And I'll see if we can make use of them.
We've got some cards up our rolled-up sleeves.
I mean, yours are rolled up, mine aren't.
Rolled up, I know.
I should really roll them up, to be fair. It's kind of a cardinal sin to wear a fully buttoned-down shirt without a jacket.
Is it?
I've got a jacket, and I do keep putting it back on, but while we're casting, I just imagine it's going to look very strange in the photos, is all. So why does Hap look so much cooler? It's because Des didn't roll his sleeves up because he's an idiot.
Anyway, 4-4. We are having a very close conflict right here. Now the basement will be chosen by the Knights. Trying to secure themselves yet another round, put themselves up to 5. They want to be the ones that touch 6 first, because there's a lot of pressure just falling off of you.
10 seconds left.
As you say at 4-4, it's a... It's hard to call which way it goes, given we ended at 3-3. We're now at 4-4 after the first couple of rounds in this half. There's more to come. There's more to understand between these 2 teams and how either side wants this one to play out. As you know, at the top of your screen is still a best of 5. There are 3 more maps potentially to come after this one, assuming Wildcard can take it, or if Knights take it away. It might turn yet to be a 3-map series, and it's definitely not the team anyone would have put down as their prediction to win this one. It wasn't any of us in the studio. You at home may have felt differently. I believe it was a 70-30 split.
For a wildcard as well.
Yeah, so it's actually a pretty... I'd say the 30% is quite surprising. I would have thought it'd be lower, in all honesty. And that's not at all to say that Knights are a terrible team. They're far from. We've seen the capability of them this week so far, but... Again, it's the strength that Wildcard have. They were always the number 2 in the region. They've strengthened their roster in the off-season with the addition of Gio and Pat. But here they're being contested by a team that the coach himself even said, you know, I feel people would fairly say, and it's not wrong to say it, we are the most inexperienced team. We are the aggressive team, sure, but that is changing.
Definitely doesn't look like inexperience on the likes of Knights right here. Yes, of course, there's some of these small mistakes coming through every now and then, but even the biggest do that, make those mistakes.
It's the small things in the rounds, like we keep on saying.
It's the small things, indeed. It's not like complete strategies like going the wrong way or just picking out the wrong operators. It's just these small little details that keep on going. Well, into the favor of Wildcard, but the other way around as well. Wildcard makes these small mistakes as well. They go towards, oh, there we go. It's going to be a double pick to come in. The bait, indeed. Dino, look at him, 11 kills so far, and they do have that entry yet again.
That drone just indicates that someone is likely swinging around there or is being hot droned in, so it's always worth pre-firing just in case there is someone there, and in that instance, Gio was present. And being on the Ash, we keep on saying it, but that's a lot of utility to lose. It's not just down to the 2 breaching rounds, it's also the 3 flashes. And Hayward finds a second. Man, between Dino and Hayward here, they've wasted so much time and happy with their results so far. They're going to drop their way back down towards the site. 2 minutes in. And Wildcard still not in a spot where they have control of Piano or really seem to have any in this round. Dino's going to find yet another. And my, we spoke about Imorin and how his impact on the Jaeger wasn't being felt. Dino's made his impact felt in the first round.
He definitely did. And I just want to give props to Hayward and Dino, the roaming combination of both playing bait and switch. The first time it was Dino actually going for the kill, and the second one was Hayward just popping up as he was getting pushed from the main lobby door. And yet again, they're still both alive right here, hoping to go for some more kills. He's dropping through the hatch. He's going to be able to pick it up. No, he gets pre-fired. Imorin able to pick up that kill, but 4 and 2. Smoke canisters will be deployed now onto these yellow stairs, and that means that as they need to be rotating down onto Spiral, trying to get their push through.
Oh, they don't know.
They don't know indeed. Someone is still in archives. It's Juicy to pick up one. Imorin to go for a response, but it's going to be Hayward to finish it off. It's an easy round for Knights. Perfectly on the roam, and that is textbook roaming for you right there. The clear was not proper enough. They tried to make up for the mistakes they had like in the first engagement, and that basically sent them even more downhill.
It's drones like that can completely dismantle a round before it even starts. And these are the good things I love to see. When teams can do this and drag the attention away from the site itself, it becomes a completely different game of Siege. And even more so when there's only 2 members doing it. And like you say, it's the unison, it's the synergy between the 2 of them. Peeking the same thing at the same time, taking fights as a collective rather than as individual roamers. Beautiful play coming out of Knights. They sit at 5 and 4. One more round. They sit at match point or overtime point. It could go through that way if a couple more rounds were to swing the way of Wildcard. Wildcard with some work to do here. Got to put in the hard yards here, boys, if you want to see yourself taking away your map pick. And that's the scariest part, let's not forget. This is Wildcard's map pick. They are currently behind. The next map we step into is Coastline. Given how the game has played out so far, the fragging capability we've seen from players like Dino, not just on map 1, but also stepping into map number 2, I fear that a map like Coastline, given the attacker swing that we see it have, is only going to benefit the Knights.
It definitely is. Their attacks, and well, not just the attacks, just their general playstyle is definitely favorable on a map like, first of all, Consulate, but also like Coastline. Coastline just amplifies whatever is going on a map like Consulate here. If you think this is aggressive, well, then like Coastline is going to be even more so.
Both of them do lean the same way, away from that kind of strategical style of play, which, if you want to kind of play to the stereotype, the story coming into this from the team themselves, that Knights are this more aggressive team. That's not to say they don't play around strats, and this is the one thing that aggravates me sometimes when teams like, oh, this team's a strat-based team, or this team is an aggressive team. It's like every team has got to be both of those things in Siege. You can't have one without the other. Where teams differ is the propensity for risk. Do they try and avoid risk? They take things slow? That's what you'd often call a strat-based team. Or are they willing to acknowledge that by not droning out a few rooms, by not having every angle covered, they put themselves in a dangerous position, but at the benefit of gaining time? That's what you might consider an aggressive team. And I think it's very important to differentiate between the styles of teams. It isn't like teams don't know how to drone or don't know how to set up strats. They absolutely do. Often it comes down again to that risk appetite.
They just choose not to. They just choose not to drone because it saves them extra time.
Oh,
Dino, in the meantime,
he got down and straight back up.
Yeah, he used that stim pistol really quickly. I believe there was a grenade actually getting the down on him. As no, was not. Was a good shot. All right.
Interesting that Dino and Hayward are both running the P90, by the way.
Is it P90 with an ACOG on it?
That's a great question. Nope.
Is it not?
No, don't think so.
Yeah.
Or is it that one? Is it the second one?
Both.
Yes, they are.
Both.
Fair enough. I was actually looking at the gun on screen there. I don't know why.
That was
I just didn't check who we were on before I commented. I was just like, nope, brain says no. Shotgun from onto Geo, though. Josh finding one on the top floor. That's his second kill of the game. He's been quiet, but sometimes critical kills like that. Geo, mind you, that's been the second or third round in this half where he has stepped up and been the opening frag for his side. Hasn't had the most fun on the attack on Consulate.
Definitely did not have the most fun. I'm kind of confused, however, that we saw him run down into yellow stairs, as the grenade wouldn't have actually gotten the kill down. I think it would have been better if he stayed there. You can almost guarantee someone is watching you to run out after a grenade has been tossed in. Anyway, Wildcard, 4-on-4, Knights still having those two beefy boys up and ready to go for these kills and for these big gunfights with the 50-round P90s available to them. And we have Juicy and Strider both inside of the A bomb set to make sure no one will be rappelling in. And as long as that rappel, like the rope there, shows itself, he's not going to be getting out of this position.
You step into a rank game and you see a Doc and a Rook picked, you just pick yourself a shotgun and go and sit in a corner somewhere, because you know what's going to come. It's going to be chaos, it's going to be holding long angles, it's going to be fighting out around the map. And that's what I assume we'd see coming out of Dino and Hayward. You still got Juicy doing just that, actually not with a shotgun, but at least sat in a corner waiting. Dino's holding on the upstairs, daring someone to try and contest him on the top floor. So as expected, like we saw back in the first half, it does come down to these holds. Why you would peek that, I don't know. It's pretty dangerous at this stage in the round. It's even more dangerous now that Dino is down as well. Wildcard into a 4 versus 2 with 20 seconds left on the clock.
Not much time left. Hayward, however, will be able to pick up one kill. Now both of them will find themselves inside the B bomb site. The plant is going to be going down.
Surely.
Are they aware? Oh, the wallbang comes in. Strider able to pick it up, and that is going to be crucial for Knights. They need to recover this diffuser. The plant will be going down yet again. Possibly, no, it's not. Wildcard, however, still managed to win it as Ethan and Diesel both go for the kill. But that wallbang there was crucial. That could have won Pittsburgh Knights the round.
A 4v2 into a 2 versus 2 to then close out with a 1 versus 2 spray down. Woo! Wildcard know how to make a wild game. The name almost suggests it, dare we say. 5-5. This is feeling like overtime. The back and forth we have seen, again, 3-3 at the half. It went to 4-4. Now it's 5-5. Nature only dictates that 6-6 is how this first, well, standard or regular play needs to go.
It definitely looks like it, but if that is the case, who starts on defense? Not that it matters much, but who starts on defense?
I have it written down, because I'm a good boy who takes notes. We have Wildcard starting on defense. Not that it matters, because we've traded rounds constantly, right?
Yeah.
But Wildcard on defense.
Pittsburgh clearly seems to be favoring the attack side, even though Wildcard does in the defense. So both will be finding themselves in their favored position, wondering how much it will matter.
Alrighty, upstairs we go. The Echo returns once more, and Tantipen in Wildcard we trust. Nothing else, just a nice simple statement there. In Wildcard we trust.
Hashtag 6 major.
How fractured is that trust going to be, good man, if Knights take this game? It goes to 2-0. Knights are one map away from bringing down Wildcard, the short-lived kings of the ANZ region, you may say.
Indeed. The short-lived kings, possibly. Especially if Knights will be able to take them down here.
Indeed is your favourite word, isn't it?
Indeed. Or exactly. I could bring that in as well.
Or definitely so.
Definitely so. I have to agree with you.
Hap phrases coming to a bookstore near you. Do you want to speak like Hap? Just say these words. We'll play like Knights.
Is he going to go for a headshot?
Just air jab him in the head.
Oh, that's going to be a good kill. Juicy taken out early. That's a smoke gone. And remind you, last time around, they managed to literally waste every single bit of utility that was available to them to try and get that smoke out of play on the yellow stairs. This time, just a single headshot will do the trick. Wonder where he actually got killed from. You play CSI Siege. Oh, there he is. He was just peeking a window. It's not very well of you, Juicy. Bad boy.
That focus towards yellow stairs once more. Often see it the focus in pretty much all these rounds. It's why you see 9 flashbangs on side. In one of the rounds earlier, Knights bought 12 flashbangs because they didn't want to get caught up inside a yellow. Get the ADS out the way, destroy the magnets, put the focus on the execute. Don't faff about in yellow stairs for too long. You've got the pulse playing downstairs. We already saw this coming out earlier from Ethan on the side of Wildcards on the defense. We've seen Hayward do it for 1 or 2 rounds as well. Bit of a free kill coming in for Diesel, mind you, as Josh shows a little bit too much of his backside and gets a few bullets nailed into it. In a spot where it's a 5 versus 3, Wildcard looking to force this up to 6 and 5, but inside the final 90 seconds, given the back and forth nature of both of these teams, no one knows which way it's going to go.
It's definitely not safe yet as Gio tries to move himself up onto these yellow stairs, quickly checking on the drone. There's still going to be Hayward below with a C4 available to him. The Ash, I believe that is trying to contest him as he rotates all the way around. You could have lost your life there, Hayward, but he manages to just stay alive. Ethan is going on the hunt right now, just trying to chase him down with the SMG-11, but oh, he's not here. He's in Visa. He's going all the way back to top. They're going to be fighting it in a 3-on-3 on the top floor as the 2 members of the likes of Wildcard are trying to hold them down. The plant will go down. Diesel now putting it up. There's only 5 seconds left, or 2 seconds left on that plant, and that means that 45 will be counting down from now on. They need to go for that retake, but it's only up to Hayward now in a 1-on-5 situation. Dez, and he will not last long. It's a flawless round from Wildcard, and they are the first one to reach round number 6.
And I get a yikes. That was decisive from Wildcard. 2 rounds on the bounce now, after struggling for a few rounds in the middle. It's kind of like we've had the flurry between rounds 6 and 8 for the Knights. And now Wildcard are the ones starting to bring it back in. If this does go their way, such a typical saying, but we have a series on our hands. Not quite literally on our hands. I can't imagine the weight of it would feel too nice, but it's still a series to come.
I don't know what it would feel like even just...
There are some really funny sayings like that in English when you think about it. I imagine in many other languages, like we have a series on our hands, and it's like, well, it's not really on our hands, is it? Or it's like I was just pulling your leg. It's like, well, you're not, though.
You're not pulling the leg either.
No.
No.
I'd imagine I'd feel quite irritated if someone was pulling my leg.
I mean, I don't even know what a series on your hands would feel like.
That's what I mean.
What, like is it sticky?
Does it
like
weigh anything?
Solid? Like, I have questions here.
I remember there's a really cool saying in German, actually. It translates roughly to, are all of your cups in the cupboard or something like that? Basically, are you all there in the head? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are all your cups in the cupboard?
We have, in Dutch, the steek je los, which means like one of your wires is disconnected in your brain.
If your wires. It's so funny when you translate these things across.
Yeah.
How wonderful. Let's see then if this final round does go the way of Wildcard, or if overtime is going to be gracing us today. Lady Overtime steps into the scene between the 2 teams. It feels only fitting to represent how close the game has been. Although I'd worry going into that how it's going to shape up, because I think, as you mentioned earlier on, Knights have looked solid at points on both sides of the map. I'd say the one roaming round we had coming out of Hayward and Dino seems more to be the exception rather than the norm. I've got to say, every time I say Strider and Dino, I feel like I speak slightly Aussie. Like I can't say them without a small tinge of the accent.
You now.
Yeah, Strider. It's so easy to say.
Strider.
Strider.
I don't know if I can, dude.
Do you like Strider?
I'm not going to attempt.
I'm not going to try. I give up. I've tried once. Spawn B comes in. He's not trying once. He's trying with quite a few bullets. He's even going to return for extra punishment. He wants desserts. Not going to find a kill, but Imorin down to a slither of HP, and even through all that, not a single shot landed back the other way.
He's going to stay prone there. He's not going to be moving anymore for the rest of the round.
Oh, not again.
No, not again. They're just punching in all these windows. Dino and Hayward just, you know, saying, come and hunt us because we will come to get you if you don't. And that is exactly what's happening here. Drones being tossed in. Diesel will be good. This is so dangerous, by the way. Don't put your termite in this position. Any other operator would be better, because if he dies now, your entire attack will just fall apart.
It's another one of those cases where we're not even looking at the top floor, but that's where all the focus is earlier on, where the fights are going to start kicking off. Is going to be around these roamers. Dino and Hayward, I said, lightning only strikes once for these guys. This could turn out to be the second one based on how much time they can waste. It is that downstairs defense once more. It looks like every single window that exists, Hayward or Dino are at it.
They're indeed at these windows, but Hayward will be falling back just a little bit. Join his buddy, Dino. He now finds himself inside of press room, or piano, as many would call. Trying to get the finishing kill onto Imorin. He's just putting up some bullets, just trying to pepper them down a little bit. Drones are being checked, and Dino makes the right call to try and fall off. Some support is going to be there. They're worried about the potential jump out coming down from the balcony. 80 seconds left. It is the Knights that are in control because they're being hunted. They're trying to be hunted. The drone does not spot him out into the first try. Dino will stay alive. 70. We're counting down slowly, Daz, and still no kill to be found because Wildcard is too busy hunting these two roamers, these two nuisances of Dino and Hayward.
I really thought we were going to see Dino jumping out a window a second ago there, but opted not to. Thought, you know what, I prefer having all 5 alive on our side. It can be Wildcard who experienced the first death in this round.
Opened it up already, the wall.
Potentially 45 seconds to go, though. There is still time to play with here for Wildcard, but the urgency is going to start to increase. Two-way pre-fire comes in, and Imorin finds a kill onto Dino again. The big roamer coming in for these boys. Now they can start getting to work on the vertical, but with only 30 seconds left, they've got to be quick about this.
They've got to be quick about it as well, especially since Hayward is still down there. He's still upstairs. He could be going for a flank, and that's exactly what he wanted to do, but Diesel is there to finish him off. He sat there for so long indeed, and I wonder, okay, they did open up the wall. I was worried about they might not have done that, and with 15 seconds left, they need to go for the execute now. Strider will be taken down almost from his side, and the plants will surely come through. It's only up to him now. 10 seconds left. It is Wildcard that will be picking up map number 2, and it will be 1-1 in the series. Wildcard are not done yet.
Another flawless round. Excellent final couple of closing statements coming out of Wildcard there, I should say. Huge performance to clinch away their map pick. It was close is the one thing I worry about. 2 rounds ago, we were saying heaven knows which way this goes. We don't know at 5 and 5 which team is going to take things away, but a big step up towards the end. And another